These are the top 5 emotional lesbian love movies on Netflix you won't forget. Because they don't just tell love stories, they let you feel every secret, every loss, and every moment of courage like it's happening inside your own life. These movies are not about perfect romance or pretty kisses. They are about real women loving in hard times, hiding when they are scared, choosing love when it costs them everything, and breaking in ways that stay with you long after the screen goes dark. I rank these emotional love stories by how deeply they show hidden love, painful choices, and emotions that feel honest instead of cinematic, and by how long they stay in your chest after the movie ends. By the end of this video, you'll have a list of lesbian films that don't just entertain you, but also have stories that you won't forget. Before we get into the list, we want to thank every one of you that have been supporting this channel from the very first video until this moment. We're saying a big thank you. And if you are just coming across this channel and you appreciate content like this, please do well to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss out on our next video. So, yes, that said, let's get into the list. Number 5 is The Half of It. The Half of It is one of the most loved lesbian romance movies on Netflix and a soft favorite among fans of emotional coming-of-age love stories, standing out not because it is loud, but because it is quiet in a way that feels painfully real, especially for anyone who has ever carried a crush in their chest and pretended it wasn't there. Let's talk about Ellie Chu, who is not bold or confident or ready for love, but shy, thoughtful, and still hurting from losing her mother. Her secret feelings for Aster grow slowly through late-night texts, shared music, and letters written for someone else, which makes every moment heavy with things she cannot say out loud. You feel her loneliness at family dinners, her fear in school halls, and her hope every time Aster reads a message that Ellie poured her heart into but cannot claim, and the scenes at the hot springs, in church, and at the school steps hit so deep because they mix love with shame, kindness with confusion, and courage with the risk of losing everything. I don't think you will forget this movie because it doesn't rush to fix Ellie's pain or reward her with a perfect ending, but instead gives you a train station goodbye that feels like real life. This voiceover gently breaks the idea of perfect halves, and a final message that love is not about being completed, but about becoming brave enough to be seen. Number 4 is Ammonite. Ammonite is one of the most talked about lesbian romance movies on Netflix, and a quiet favorite among fans of emotional lesbian love stories. Ammonite feels heavy in the chest from the very first scenes, because it drops you into a cold, lonely world where love is not allowed to be soft or easy, and where two women are already broken before they ever touch. Let me remind you of the case of Mary Anning. She lives a hard, silent life shaped by poverty, loss, and being pushed aside in a man's world. And when Charlotte is sent to stay with her, their bond does not rush into romance, but grows through shared sadness, long walks, and small acts of care that slowly turn into something neither of them planned. You feel every look, every pause, and every hand that almost touches, because the film lets their need build quietly until it finally breaks through in moments that feel desperate, tender, and real. Like two people who have been starving for warmth and do not know how to ask for it. I just couldn't forget Ammonite because it does not give me comfort or fantasy, but leaves me with images that stay in my head. Like rough hands learning how to be gentle, bodies finding safety in the middle of pain, and that final separation where glass and distance replace touch. The ending hurts because it feels unfinished, like so many queer stories in history, and it makes you sit with the truth that love can change you forever, even when it cannot stay. Number 3 is Elisa and Marcella. This is one of the most powerful lesbian romance movies on Netflix. Elisa and Marcella hits deep because it is not just a love story, but a true story about what it costs two women to love each other when the world is fully against them. This movie is emotional because it places Elisa and Marcella in early 1900s Spain, where church, family, and law all say their love is a sin, yet they still choose each other in secret rooms, hidden kisses, and stolen nights that feel both beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Their bond grows in whispers and long looks, but quickly turns into survival, as they risk everything for one moment of truth, including a hidden wedding, Elisa dressing as a man to protect their love, and Marcella standing alone in court trying to explain a feeling the world refuses to understand. Every scene carries tension because happiness never feels safe, and even their softest touches feel like they might be the last. You won't forget Elisa and Marcella, because their pain is mixed with courage in a way that stays under your skin, especially when you see them running, hiding, praying, and still choosing each other even as the walls close in. The ocean scenes, the courtroom breakdown, and their final separation do not fade easily, because they remind you how many queer women had to suffer just to exist. Number 2 is Carol, one of the most loved lesbian romance movies on Netflix, and a classic among emotional lesbian relationship movies. Carol shows how powerful love can grow in a world that is built to crush it quietly. This movie is emotional because it takes us into 1950s New York, where being in love with another woman is not just hard, but dangerous, and we watch shy shopgirl Therese slowly fall for the elegant and lonely Carol through soft voices, long looks, and moments that feel small on the outside, but huge on the inside. Their love grows in car rides, hidden lunches, letters, and motel rooms, while Carol is fighting a painful divorce and the threat of losing her child, which makes every smile feel borrowed and every touch feel like it could be taken away. Kate Blanchett plays Carol with calm beauty that keeps cracking, and Rooney Mara plays Therese like someone waking up for the first time, so their connection feels gentle, scary, and deeply human. You won't forget Carol, especially the moments of separation, the quiet tears, the long stares across rooms, and that final diner scene where one looks at everything they are not allowed to say out loud. The soft music, the winter streets, and Carol's painful choices make the love feel heavy and real, and it leaves you remembering how many women had to love in silence while still choosing to love anyway. Number 1 is A Secret Love. If you agree with me, A Secret Love is one of the most touching lesbian relationship movies ever made. A Secret Love feels powerful because it is not acting, not fantasy, and not written to impress anyone, but a real story of two women who loved each other in silence for almost their entire lives. This documentary is emotional because it follows Terry Donahue and Pat Henschel, two women who were together for nearly 70 years, but hid their love from family, friends, and the world because they were scared of being rejected, losing work, and being treated like strangers in their own homes. And we see their story through old photos, home videos, and soft interviews that slowly open into tears, laughter, fear, and deep love. The moments that hurt the most are also the most gentle, like when they finally tell their families the truth in old age and their voices shake, when they sit in hospital rooms holding hands as their bodies grow weaker, and when they remember the years they had to pretend they were only friends while building a whole life together. You won't forget A Secret Love because it feels like listening to your own grandparents confess something they carried in their hearts forever, and scenes like their late life wedding, Pat's fear of being alone, and Terry's quiet strength stay with you long after the screen goes dark. So, besties, if these emotional lesbian love movies touched you, tell us in the comments which one stayed in your heart the most. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us for more unforgettable lesbian romance movies on Netflix.